Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a high-energy masterclass on generating real income through modern cybersecurity. If you've ever wondered how people monetize hidden data on the internet without, needing years of hardcore programming experience, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to decode the definitive guide to uncovering hidden web assets using modern automation.
Okay, let's dive into this. Every single day, massive tech companies are paying independent researchers anywhere from $100 to upwards of $20,000 per finding. Seriously, 20 grand. Why? Well, they're terrified of their hidden digital assets falling into the wrong hands. There's a massive financial incentive right now for everyday individuals, just like us, to find and report these hidden web portals, API endpoints, and development servers before the bad guys do.
So here's our roadmap for today's Explainer. We'll start with the digital goldmine, demystify how web fuzzing works, and cover 3 core probing strategies. Then we'll explore the AI reporting advantage, highlight common pitfalls to avoid, and wrap the whole thing up with your 30-day action plan. And hey, don't worry if you're a beginner, we're going to break all these concepts into easily digestible steps.
Section 1. The Digital Goldmine. Uncovering Hidden Assets for Profit.
You see, the core problem tech companies face today is simply scale. Thousands of global enterprises are growing so fast that internal admin portals, hidden staging servers, and dev environments accidentally get left completely exposed to the public internet. Their security teams literally just don't have the time or human power to check every single digital path. To combat this massive threat, corporations launch what are called bug bounties. Organizations like HackerOne, BugCrowd, and Integrity act as secure platforms where companies legally invite independent researchers to look for these hidden assets. I want to really emphasize this. These platforms provide the completely legal, safe, and highly lucrative framework for everything we're discussing today. When you find an asset that shouldn't be exposed, you get paid. Simple as that.
Section 2. How web fuzzing works. Demystifying HTTP requests and FFUF.
All right, before we write a single command, we need to look under the hood. When you knock on a server's door by typing a web address into your browser, the server responds with HTTP status codes. These codes are basically the fundamental language of the web. If the page exists, you get a 200 OK. If it doesn't, you get a 404 not found. But if the page is private or restricted to administrators, you might get a 403 forbidden. As asset hunters, those 200 OK and 403 forbidden codes on hidden pages are the exact responses we're hunting for.
So the crucial point is, how do we actually find these hidden status codes without manually typing thousands of guesses into a web browser? That'd take forever. We need an ultimate tool that automates this discovery process at blistering speeds.
Enter FFUF, which stands for, believe it or not, Fuzz Faster You Fool. This is the gold standard industry tool. It's an incredibly lightweight, open-source program written in Go, built specifically for web fuzzing. Basically, FFUF works by taking a target URL containing the keyword fuzz, and it rapidly swaps that keyword with thousands of common folder or file names from a plain text list. We're talking about checking 50,000 possibilities in less than a minute. It fires off ultra-fast background web requests to see exactly what status codes come back.
I absolutely love this analogy from the source material. Imagine trying to find a hidden room in an enormous castle. Instead of checking every single wall by hand, you deploy a robotic system that knocks on 1,000 spots per second, listening to the acoustic echo to instantly tell you where a hidden door is. That's it. FFUF is literally that robotic system for the internet.
Section 3. 3 core probing strategies. Directory, Subdomain, and vhost. Now we're moving into the practical execution phase. If you want a high-income bug bounty workflow, there are 3 dominant targets professionals hunt for every single day. Let's look at these methodologies. First up, directory and file discovery. This is where companies accidentally leave sensitive configuration files, like a .n file with actual passwords, live on their main site. Second is subdomain enumeration. A company's main site might be super secure, but an old forgotten subdomain, like say staging.company.com, might be wide open. And third, virtual host or vhost probing, where internal tools are hidden on a server and only unlock if you pass a secret internal header. Each of these represents a distinct, highly profitable weakness in a company's digital perimeter. Let's walk through the anatomy of a basic FFUF command for a directory scan. First, you identify your target URL. Next, you choose a word list full of common directory names, like the ones from the seclists repository, and then you run your FFUF command. You'll use the -u slag for the URL, -w for the word list, and most importantly, -mc for match codes.
By setting -MC to 200, 301, and 403, you're basically telling FFUF to act as a specific digital metal detector, only showing you hits that actually exist or are forbidden. Pretty neat, right?
Section 4. The AI Reporting Advantage. Turning scans into payouts. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the modern unfair advantage, combining this heavy scraping tool with generative AI. Looking at the actual hacker's toolkit required to execute this, you'll notice something amazing. FFUF? Free. The SecList's Wordlists library? Completely free. Kali Linux? Free. Your AI analyst, whether it's Claude or GPT-4o, has free tiers available. Honestly, the only truly recommended paid tool is a cheap DigitalOcean cloud server for about $5 to $12 a month, just so you can run scans without slowing down your home internet. Almost the entire professional toolkit required to do this is open source and free.
So here's the beginner AI pipeline. First, you create your free HackerOne or BugCrowd accounts. Then you filter for wide-scope programs, which basically means any asset the company owns is fair game. You run your FFUF scans. When you find an exposed endpoint, you literally just copy the data output and paste it right into an AI prompt. You tell the AI you're an elite cybersecurity analyst participating in a legal bounty program, and you ask it to write a highly professional vulnerability report. Guys, the AI completely removes the traditional technical barrier to entry here. It writes the flawless report that those triage teams need to see in order to approve your cash payout.
Section 5. Common pitfalls to avoid. Surviving the first 2 weeks.
Okay, I want to shift to a slightly more serious tone here for a second, because the following technical traps are exactly why 90% of beginners quit within their first 2 weeks. There are 3 major mistakes you need to watch out for. First, scanning without filters. If a site returns a custom error page for every single guess, your screen is going to flood with false positives. You avoid this by using the -FS flag to filter out specific file sizes. Second, flooding web servers. If FFUF runs way too fast, you'll overload their infrastructure, trigger a firewall, and get your IP banned instantly. You absolutely must use the -T flag to limit your scanning threads and stay stealthy. The third mistake, well, it's the most serious one. Operating outside legal scope, I need to deliver this urgent ethical warning with absolute authority. Never run automated scans on a website unless you have explicit written authorization or the target is listed on an official bug bounty program. Scanning random private businesses without a legal policy is highly illegal. You must strictly stick to platforms like HackerOne and BugCrowd to ensure your work is entirely safe, ethical, and fully protected. Section 6. Your 30-day action plan. The realistic path to profitability. Let's move on and see how this builds from theory directly into realistic, daily execution. But first, a totally transparent reality check. This is not some magic push-button, get-rich-quick system. During your first 7 to 10 days, you'll probably be frustrated. You'll see mostly boring 404 error codes. But listen, that is exactly the filter point where the casuals give up. The long game is about shifting your word lists, targeting deep frameworks like Docker or Spring Boot, and just sticking with it, because remember, finding just one single valid critical bug can secure a payout that matches a full week's salary at a traditional job. All right, here's your exact 30-day blueprint. Days 1 through 7, install your environment, learn the basics of FFUF, and grab those SecList's word lists. Days 8 through 18, dedicate yourself to scanning 5 wide-scope targets daily and really master those noise-filtering flags we talked about. Finally, days 19 through 30, feed your anomalous logs directly to your AI and aim to submit 3 polished vulnerability reports per week. By dedicating just, 60 to 90 minutes an evening to this timeline, you create a professional, automated daily habit. Which brings us to our final thought. You now possess the foundational knowledge required to operate as an automated asset discovery specialist. But knowledge without action is practically worthless. So what does this all mean for you? Are you ready to stop scrolling, install your terminal, deploy FFUF, and claim your share of the digital goldmine today? The blueprint is right here in front of you. Get out there and start exploring this incredibly lucrative intersection of AI and cybersecurity. Thanks so much for joining us on this explainer, and we will catch you next time.